6 o'clock. We will call the meeting of the Childersburg City Council for April the 7th, 2026 to order. Councilman Ivy, would you lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance?
Heavenly Father, thank you for another day, Lord. Please be with us in all we do, Lord. Let us do it always pleasing to you. Lord, we pray for those who are lost. They find some way to know that you are the only God, you are the only way, that somebody or something influence their life, and let them know that that's the only way they will have everlasting life, is by believing in you and following your word. Lord, we thank you most of all for Jesus Christ. In his name we pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to make a slight adjustment to the agenda. Before we begin tonight, I'll be calling on Chief Phillips for a report. I'll make that slight change to the agenda tonight. With that being said, I'll now entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. So moved. I have a motion from Council Ivy. I have a second from Council Spivey. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0, thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Ken Wesson,
Here.
Councilmember Allen,
Here.
Councilmember Ivy,
Here.
Councilmember Riddle,
Here.
Councilmember Spivey,
Here.
Councilmember Wallace,
Here.
all present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief Phillips has some information he wants to share with us, and again, if y'all would come on up.
I want to give you guys an update on the grant situation on that. We did, you covered everything with the exception of one thing. If you remember, we did apply for another storm shelter. So, Ms. Shepherd asked her what she could contribute back to us. She was trying to scrounge up a gift for calling them or mother, and I told her the best thing she could do is give her testimony to you guys, because you guys separate policies and whatnot. So this is Ms. Shepherd.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Well, I'm here on behalf of my mother and my family. I want to share my experience with the Childersburg EMT. I was being honest to God, because without him, I don't know if you guys would be able to perform a miracle that they did. So about 2 weeks ago, my mother, she suffered from cardiac arrest, she had a heart attack. And I'm trying not to get emotional because it was bad. So these wonderful guys, not only did they brought my mother back, but they saved her life. These amazing gentlemen, they worked on my mother for 25 minutes. For 25 minutes, my mom, she was sporting and she was fighting for her life. And I'm here to give a report. She's doing amazing. She has no brain damage. She can use all her limbs. She can talk. It's like she knows well. And I've had a few experiences with these guys. I have an aunt that's up from seizures. She shine, he probably don't remember, but he has helped my family out. Numerous times. And I just want to let the city of Childersburg know we have an amazing EMT squad. Because the doctors, they can't explain how they brought her back. They can't explain. I mean, for her not to have any damages, like, it's nothing but God worked through these young men. I can't thank him enough. Like, we talked for a long time. He explained to me like the challenges that they had, and we got an amazing part. Like, my mom was gone. When I say she was gone, she was gone. They brought her back, they kept her stable until we made it to the coffee. At first, she didn't have my heartbeat. After the challenge, they got the baby correctly. Because when I say it was tough. It was tough. That was the longest 25 minutes of my life. And I can't thank them enough.
Let's check our best crew that says,
Yeah, with the crew here, that,
And the thing about this is, our young ladies do this on a regular basis, save people's lives.
Yes, because I heard they just performed another movie.
That's Jason.
I thank God. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. The doctors cannot explain how y'all got her back here. And for her, like I said, for her not to have, because if anybody knows her without oxygen, it can cause severe damage. My mom's is in rehab now. She just started her rehab. Like I said, she can walk, she can talk, she can name everybody in her family. Like she's suffering a little bit from short-term memory loss. But the most important thing, she's here.
That's right.
And I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, y'all are amazing.
Well, God is good.
while they're taking this picture, I'm gonna take a few minutes and brag on these guys. A lot of people don't know, but, we've had a vision since we began this journey, myself 11 years ago, I think it was, and several have been here with me, but the commitment to the city council in Childersburg to our first responders is second to none. Now, yes, we do operate on a tight budget, and it takes watching every penny. My grandmother used to say, if you don't watch your pennies, your nickels will go away. So we use that philosophy because we got so many awesome first responders here in Childersburg that we get included in programs that no other city our size get included in because of the expertise in our fire hall. We carry plasma on our ambulances. Not very many cities in Alabama get to do that. We partnered with UAB. UAB has certified our ambulances as rolling emergency rooms because of the amount of equipment that we have on our ambulances. And our response times are still under 4 minutes from a call to pulling up in your driveway in Childersburg, which is amazing. So we are very proud of what we do, and I have the backing of the council that we're going to remain that way. You know, we want to grow it. We want to make it even better. We're partnering with Pershing University training paramedics on site in Childersburg because we have the expertise in our fire hall. And so, as Councilman Ivy said, yeah, we've got a lot of wants and needs, and we got more needs than we do wants, but that's the way they are. And so we're working to make those things happen. And we've got a fire station where we're parking, double parking equipment in bays, which is not a good thing. And if some things fall our way, we're working on plans to add 3 more bays. We want to add a disinfectant bay, so every time an ambulance makes a run, it comes back in, they open up, go in this segregated bay, turn on the misters, and disinfect the ambulances between runs. We'll be able to do that on all city vehicles, but we have a lot of plans we want to get in motion going forward. So but it takes, the council here, everyone in support, and for these things to happen, for a city our size to make these things happen, though. So I appreciate you guys every day for what y'all do, stepping forward for the city, because I'm telling you, you're not doing it for the money. So thank y'all.
Mr. Mayor, could I say something? I want to thank Chief Shane, ever since he's been here, he's done nothing but progress. He's spearheaded everything. Every time something new comes out, he gets on top of it, and thank the Lord he's here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, Ms. Shepherd, for sharing that with us. It's sometimes it's fun to have some good news, and you know, when you've got a loved one laying there that's COVID, and they tell me that the chief shared with me that typically the timeline that they have the guideline out, you're supposed to work 20 minutes and then you're supposed to make a call. But our guys had a gut feel, and they exceeded that 20 minutes, and they saved the lady's life.
I'll add my 2 cents in as well. I was at a funeral this past weekend. The guy speaking was the brother of the deceased. He died in his home and required it to come and remove his body. And the police came, as well as the EMTs in the corner. And this guy at the funeral wanted me to pass on that everybody was in a very professional manner. Police as well as the fire or the EMS people, that they were EMT people, that they were very, very professional, and he appreciated the way they handled the situation. Thank you.
Thank you. First item of business, committee reports, Council Riddle,
I have nothing to report at this time.
Council Spivey.
Childersburg Fire Rescue Department, they had 171 incidents, from, 4126 to 3126.
Thank you, Councilman. Council Wallace. Council Allen.
Yes, sir, the CPD report for March 17th, April 7th, 64 total offenses, 73 incidents, 26 charges, 23 arrests, 6 accidents, 107 citations, 33 total charges, 1 ordinance ticket was served, 28 criminal papers served, 3 total sex offenders registered. I did want to mention everybody about the Citizens Police Academy. They're currently taking applications right next door at the police department's headquarters, and if you graduate that program, one lucky person is going to get to tase the chief, right?
Is that right?
It is now, I said it. Right in the shoulder. I'm little words. Great program. I hope we have a high participation rate. Again, this is an example where a city of 4,300 people typically doesn't offer services like this. We appreciate you guys doing it.
Matter of fact, I'm signed up. I encourage everybody else to sign up also.
Anything else, Council? Council Ivey?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor, this time.
Thank you. Would like to announce, I did meet with the contractor, for the Pleasant Valley project. We went out and looked at all the jobs on the site. There are parts of it in Pleasant Valley on Cooper, parts of it in, Grove Park. And, that work is scheduled to begin on April the 13th. And that will, hopefully, we'll be closing that project out shortly after that. All right, at this time, I need a motion for approval of the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting held on March 17th, 2025.
So moved.
Let's go ahead and make that 2026.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion from Council Riddle and a second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. New business tonight, resolution 2026-11. Approval of resolution dedicating and identifying Grove Park Fire Course as Lori Eugenia Dunlap Park. At this time, I'm gonna ask Council Ivy to read the proclamation.
Y'all bear with me.
Yeah.
We're on naming the Grove Park Battle Course walking track, Laura Eugenia Dunlap Park. Whereas in December 1948, J.W. Dunlap and Eugenia Dunlap made donation of land located within the Grove Park subdivision identified as real estate in the southwest quarter of the southwest quarter south of Section 20, Township 20, Range 3 East, situated within the corporate limits of Childersburg, Caldwell County, Alabama. And whereas J.W. Dunlap and Eugenia Dunlap requested a donation of certain real property within the Grove Park subdivision would be designated and maintained as a public park. And whereas the Dunlap family requests consideration to name the Grove Park walking track as Laura Eugenia Dunlap Park. And whereas the City Council of City of Childersburg wishes to recognize the Dunlap family's contribution to the Childersburg community by naming the Grove Park by the course walking track as Laura Eugenia Park in her honor. Therefore, let it be resolved by the City Council of the City of Childersburg, Alabama, while in a regular session on the 7th day of April 2026 as follows. Section 1, that from this day forward, Grove Park by the course walking track be identified as Laura Eugenia Dunlap Park. Section 2, that said City Council and citizens of the City of Childersburg are appreciative for the donation and contribution from the Dunlap family. Section 3, that this resolution shall become effective immediately on adoption. Adopted and approved on the 7th day of April 2026. Signed, Mayor Kim Wesson.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Do I hear a motion for immediate consideration of resolution 2026-11?
So moved.
I have a motion from Council Ivy, I have a second from Council Spivey, all in favor? 5-0, roll call vote, Council Riddle,
Yes.
Council Spivey? Yes. Council Wallace? Yes. Council Allen?
Yes.
Council Ivy?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for immediate adoption of resolution 2026-11? I have a motion from Council Wallace.
I'll second.
I have a second from Council Allen. All in favor? 5-0. Resolution 2026-11 has been duly adopted by the City Council for the City of Childersburg. You guys come forward, we're done.
Gotta make a picture.
Thank you very much.
Item 2, resolution 2026-12, approval for Goodwin Mills and Cambridge to provide engineering services for plans of construction for industrial access road with project to be funded through ALDOT industrial access funds. Do I hear a motion for immediate consideration?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from Council Allen, I have a second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Roll call vote. Council Spivey?
Yeah.
Council Wallace? Yes. Council Allen?
Yes.
Council Ivy?
Yes.
Council Riddle?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for immediate adoption of resolution 2026-12?
So moved.
I have a motion from Council Ivy, second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0, thank you. Resolution 2026-12 has been duly adopted by the City Council for the City of Childersburg. Item 3, Resolution 2026-13, approval for City of Childersburg to make CAP grant application for pedestrian and streetscape improvements along First Street and 8th Avenue and authorize the mayor to execute necessary documents. Do I hear a motion for immediate consideration?
So moved.
I have a motion from Council Riddle, second from Council Spivey, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. Roll call vote. Council Wallace.
Yes.
Council Howard.
Yes.
Council Ivy.
Yes.
Council Riddle.
Yes.
Council Spivey.
Yes.
Thank you. This time I'll entertain a motion for immediate adoption of resolution 2026-13.
So moved.
I have a motion from Council Allen. Second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Once again, briefly, just wanted to make sure everybody understood, we do have a historical grant application in for $75,000 with the State of Alabama Historical Association. The copy of that is in your packet. The industrial access for the road, the grant letter is in your packet from Aldon, and then it covers the fire department. Item 5, Park and Recreation, John Cox Stadium. Approval for Yarnell Construction to paint John Cox Stadium to include field house, bleachers, handrails, and entrance in the amount of $13,000 from Fund 12 donation. Do I hear a motion for approval? So moved. I have a motion from Council Ivy.
I'll second the motion.
Second from Council Allen. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Fire department, we have 3 items. First, approval to classify Howard O'Neill as firefighter paramedic with no change in pay rate, part-time temporary. Do I get a motion for approval? I have a motion from Council Spivey. I have a second from Council Wallace. All in favor? 5-0. Have 2 items of business next. Approval to hire the following as part-time temporary at a needed basis. Terry Thomas, firefighter paramedic at a rate of $16 per hour. Do I hear a motion for approval? I have a motion from Council Ivy. Second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Next item, approval to hire Layton Kent, firefighter at a rate of $12.50 per hour. Do I hear a motion for approval? I have a motion from Council Spivey.
Second.
Second from Council Riddle. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Item 7. Approval to advertise with Kiwanis, Ben Nelson benefit run-off April the 18th, 2026 in the amount of $300 from Fund 23. Do I hear a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion from Council Allen. Second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Item 8, daily home advertisement. Approval to advertise the 4th color page in the daily home graduation special edition in the amount of $236 from Fund 23. Do I hear a motion for approval? I have a motion from Council Wallace. I have a second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Item 9. Approval for advertisement with America 250 Tour. Approval to advertise with America 250 Tour event April 11th and 12th, 2026 out of Fund 23. Do I hear a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I have a motion from Council Allen. Second from Council Wallace. All in favor? 4. All against? 1. Thank you. Item 10, approval of invoices in the amount, and their invoices are in your packet if you've had a chance to look at them, in the amount of $141,269.28. Do I hear a motion for approval? I have a a motion from Council Ivy, a second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. This time, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn to reconvene for town hall meeting. Before we do that, I'd like to announce the next regular scheduled meeting will be held on April the 21st, 2026, with council meeting beginning at 11 and pre-council beginning at 10:30. Also like to announce that CRA business is conducted as necessary at scheduled council meetings. This time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to reconvene for town hall. So moved. I have a motion from Council Ivy, second from Council Spivey. All in favor? 5-0. Would anyone like to address the council?
Good evening, gentlemen, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
I'm Noah Beckham, 1100 9th Avenue Southwest, Childersburg. I'm told that this council doesn't necessarily see a whole lot that happens on social media, so I want to bring a few things to your attention.
Everything the rest of them wrong, but that's directed at me. I'm not.
Okay. There is a petition against the proposed data center in Industrial Park. It's only been out a few weeks. Right now it has 400 signatures over that, and it is continually growing.
Are they citizens, or do you know?
Most of them are.
That's not.
What is most, define most?
I can pull the numbers for you if you want.
Okay, well, I'd be interested in seeing.
There are a lot of rumors online circulating that there's a contract that's been signed, that there's a real process.
Are the people that join that group?
There's a group and there's a petition.
You need to understand there is not a data center.
We have not sold any property, we have not.
Right.
I'm so tired of saying.
Yes, so we keep hearing that, and there's still.
I keep hearing it because it's true.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Are you at liberty, given the confidentiality agreement?
I have not signed a confidentiality agreement.
Mayor Weston, that was what you said a couple of months ago, was that there was not a non-disclosure, but there was a confidentiality agreement.
That was with another group. I said that at the time too.
Right. Given that, are you at liberty to say who it is, what company is looking at our property?
We do not know the answer to that question.
So you're not talking with anyone?
No, they have got independent contractors trying to buy land, is what it is about.
And would you like to know who it is who might be coming here?
We will.
When they complete their due diligence, but we have not had a meeting in what? How long? 2 months? 3 months?
Because there are a lot of concern and a lot of upset citizens who are wondering, the major company, the major project is coming here, who they are, and what kind of track record they have. That's not, a crazy thing to ask.
We would love to know too, but we don't know these
You
things.
have no way of finding out.
No.
There's no one you can call and say, hey, who is it, what's the Childersburg?
Here's what they're telling us. When the due diligence is completed, then they will be talking to end users. At that time, an end user will step forward. We have no idea.
That's
the
you
truth
don't
of the
understand
matter.
how concerning that is for citizens,
It
right?
concerns us.
I'm a citizen too.
So when will you know who you might be talking to?
We don't know.
We don't, when the due diligence is complete and then we get approved.
Do we have a date on
It's sometime this month.
that? Then let's talk with the town hall as well, is that
Information on that. I mean, really, we're still, I appreciate the concern and people want to ask questions, but really, I know I've said it a few bunch of times, but there's a lot of new ones here tonight. This is very standard for any kind of industrial growth project. I was involved in plenty of them, and typically they're all under code names until they actually get approved. A lot of times it goes through the Talladega County EDA. The weird, just so everybody knows, I know I've said it a lot for those that are here, but just so everybody knows, what made this unique was the fact that there was a zoning change in the middle of a potential tenant process. They're still doing due diligence. This is normal for every project we've been a part of. Unfortunately, those previous projects have fallen through typically due to water table issues or interstate access. We've had a lot of, letdowns, let's put it that way, when it comes to development at that site. And we're still in that stage here. We don't know that it's gonna happen.
We're not trying to be combative, we don't know. The truth of the matter is, we have not sold any property.
I'm just as concerned as you are. When they say, or if it gets to the point where they say, we want to bring a data center in, then we do it now. And I want to find out from those people who the customer is, how they're planning on doing this, how they're gonna do it, where they're gonna get the water from. What's, all the details that need to be done, but till something happens, we know nothing. We're in the black dark, just like you are. They just approached us about the property, and that's it.
It's very frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
How large it could be and the number of jobs it will take and the amount of revenue it could bring, but then we're not even allowed to hear who it is who could be.
We don't know, we don't know. I mean, how many times have I said this?
This is a big thing. That's also
I'm just as concerned as you are. I don't want anything to harm this community. We can't answer that question. We don't know. Is there anything else we want to do? I had a man approach me and say, I got a slaughterhouse. I got some Childersburg. You found it? I don't know. No, I want a slaughterhouse.
Would anybody else like to address the council?
Just keep in mind, there is not a data center. We've been approached about some land, that's all.
Please state your name and your address for the record.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm Draven Eakin. My address is 5200 Dallas area road, Childersburg. Federal area.
Is that in the city limits?
That was.
Okay, really, anyway, I just wondered.
That's rude.
No, it's not.
So on that, it doesn't really, some of the size, and I'm happy, Councilman White, that you spoke to me earlier and had a very short conversation. I do appreciate that. You as well, Mr. Mayor. But whether I'm in the community or not, I can be in a.
I just want to know if I'm interested.
Okay. But even if I'm in a community 30 miles away from the affected area, it is still going to fall under the power grid infrastructure of Alabama Power. Right? So, I have here a couple of statements. I've compressed it. I'm going to compress it even more because now I want more information from both of you. I'm going to kind of narrow it down a little bit. These are mainly for consideration for when the beginning stages of the plan is presented to you guys. Right? Because we know it's coming. It's coming.
Well, I'm glad you know more
It's economic advancement. It's what the government is labeling, the federal government is labeling as economic advancement. Real quick, my name is Draven Eakin. I'm a veteran. I've been in the Army for 13 years. We're going on 13 years. Terrible at public speeches, so I'm going to be trembling a little bit. But I now serve as a military technician on the civilian side, working on all types of military equipment.
I thought you were going to address it now.
I am.
Okay.
I'm very good at some things. So I'm going to skip subject one. Subject two is open and closed looping cooling systems. I heard you speak on it if you want to go with this guy. Let's see here. The data center is projected. The one that's proposed and publicly spoken about by quite a few people.
Excuse me just a second. Well, I understand Childersburg citizens, but how can they speak on the data center when we don't even know what it is? This is all just guessing.
Conjecture.
And sir, we really can't comment.
I understand this. Like I said, this was just considerations.
How can it be consideration of something when we don't know what it is? Listen, I understand your concern. I have concern too, but, and I know, just like the President of the United States held a press conference, in January 16th, I believe it was, he said data centers, he needs everyone to quit pushing back against them because they're necessary for the defense of this country and for our commerce. That was the statement. I know he met with all the end users a few weeks after that and told them that they also didn't need to come after cities and counties for abatements because they had enough money in their pockets were deep enough to pay as they go. And so I reached out to Alabama Power, I shared this with you a while ago, because one of the first things everybody tells us is, well, my power bill is gonna go up. Alabama Power, the people that deal with this data center, said absolutely not, because in Alabama, you pay for the infrastructure improvements before they go in. The company has to pay for them before they go in, so there's no cost to Alabama Power on it. That's their words. And they said maybe in California, Texas, some other states, that may have been the example, but in Alabama, they don't do localized rate increases.
Can you present that law and or policy to?
I said this was a press conference the president did. He
Whether on law or policy?
They signed the policy, yes, but they did, and you should be able to Google it and find it.
Okay. Anyways, the publicly discussed information that has been going around for quite a while is that it is proposed to be a 500 megawatt facility. I'm going to skip all the math. By the end, essentially, a closed-loop cooling system does indeed pull more than an open-loop cooling system water per day. The mathematical equation equates to roughly 14.4 million gallons of water used to support a 24/7 running 500 megawatt data center per day. I have a couple questions here. I'm gonna get one more subject matter, just knock out real quick. And this is on market sustainability when it comes to infrastructure, really just anything energy-wise, right? With the escalating global energy conflicts and depletion of a quarter of the world's distributable oil, it is predicted that an economic oil shock will occur in the United States after April 14th of this year. That's when the last load of oil that we ordered from the Iranian distributors will arrive in America. It's April 14th. And maybe we're off on that, but we are also in a major technological goods inflationary status due to a land crisis that spawned from organizational and corporate implementation of artificial intelligence and the majority of products sold to consumers. There are mentions of this data center creating jobs for the general public, temporary construction jobs, but most of the general public.
Do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Or would you ask it?
You want me to?
Okay.
So the questions.
We don't have time.
I'll step all right, that's fine. So the questions is, how does the city of Childersburg plan to fund and maintain the project at this scale? Right, I understand, it's my
You
understanding.
don't know what the scale is, so I can't answer that question.
The proposed scale, the one that there's public concern, I'm addressing the public concern. So if that was a reality, if a company that you guys don't know who it is, but if they approach you.
I'm having a problem being able to answer your question because I don't know what we're.
But you're also not letting me finish, Mr. Mayor. Sir? You're also not letting me finish my.
You have more time than you normally allow. Yes.
That's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anybody else
Hello, my name is Will Lawrence, 119 Riverwalk Loop West, Childersburg, Alabama, technically I'm in the county. All I'm going to say about the whole data center thing is that I believe you when you say that you don't have any information yet. All I would like to say is that if somebody does come to you about a proposed data center, I think the community as a whole would very much like that information as soon as you guys have it, so that we can all have this discussion in a more informed manner if we need to when that point comes.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. And, we're gonna want to share it, but like I said, we don't have anything yet. And let me be clear, guys. I have said from the get-go that we have been talking to, we started out talking to two different groups. We have. No denying that. Never have denied it. You know, you tell the truth, you gotta have good memory. So I try to deal with the truth. All right, we have talked to two groups. one of those fell by the wayside because we would not sign, agreements they wanted, you know, non-disclosure, I'm not gonna sign an NDA. I'm just not. I know it's been reported on social media that I already did, well, I didn't. So I'm sorry to disappoint anybody, but anyway,
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, you're committed to maintaining that you won't sign an NDA for a data center that.
I'm not gonna sign a data center,
Thank you.
NDA. I did meet with a group of end users. They called and asked what I talked with them. They wanted me to sign an NDA. I said, I'm not going to. I said, I'll meet with them. I can talk, that they wanted me to talk about Childersburg. I said, I can talk about Childersburg without knowing who you are. It doesn't matter to me who you are. And so I did that. That was a month ago, you know, but I haven't talked to anybody since then. And so these were just potential, maybe clients of the group that's talking about maybe doing it.
And they won't even give you information.
No.
Sure. All right, thank you very much.
Let me ask them, say,
We're not trying to be secretive here. You know, I wish I could answer all your questions, but until we have something firm that, yes, we want to buy this many acres of land, we don't know. Or yes, we're going to put in a data center and these people are going to be the end users. You know, I've heard rumors that Google, AWS, the Department of Defense, and all of this. I've heard all of that. You know, people come up and say it was on something. I said, well, you know more than I do. You know, because, like I said, I'm not on it, so I don't read, but they do come and tell me this. And so I've heard all those different people that may be in this data center. So when we find out, and when they say, yes, we want to buy property, well then, the first thing you'll see this council have to do, we'll have to surplus that property. We can't sell property that belongs to the city of Childersburg without surplusing it.
Would you mind explaining what that means, sir?
That means if they come to us and they want to buy 1,400 acres owned by the city of Childersburg, we have to surplus it, meaning the city has no use for the property, and we will agree to sell it at a certain price to an individual.
when we find out what they're gonna use it for.
Understood. And is the surplusing process part of something that would come up in the city council meeting?
Yes.
All right.
But, Mr. Mayor, also, I know you guys heard me say this a lot, and I will apologize, there's probably some shortness, because continually every meeting we're saying the same thing, and we get information, we're gonna give it to you guys, it's just not there yet. But I'll also add that, does anybody know how many employees in Talladega County are involved in industrial development? Some of you should know. It's 3, and they work down in Silicon at the Talladega County EDA. They're the only people that have exposure to these type of things. This is just another industrial development project. The state gets involved and the county gets involved in all of them. They all have project names. Most of the times there are NDAs signed. And we've had that happen plenty, not necessarily with us, but with the EDA. So I guess there's 2 facets here. Definitely understand concerns with data centers. There's a lot of information out there, and I will admit to all of you that absolutely all 5 of us are doing a ton, all 6 of us, are doing a ton of research and investigating, but also the whole adage, loose lips and ships. You got to understand the way, the experience that we've had for years now, and less than 11 years, is plans and opportunities that fall through after plans that fall through, could have brought lots of jobs, could have brought lots of money to our economy. By back in napkin math, Downtown represents $20 to $30 million we just lost in this economy. And so our best interest for this area, not just for children, we're going to want for citizens, because that's who we were elected by, and it's actually, and please don't take this as being pedantic, but it's the citizens' land that we're going to vote on. So not that we don't listen to everybody else, but truly we are representatives of the citizens of the city. So just please understand, I would encourage everybody to research how industrial development processes typically go. Look that up. Because when you get into the data center side of things, there's AI scale data centers, and then of course there's traditional data centers. I work in information technology. I build these data centers all the time, so I'm very familiar with how they work. You got to understand that there's a lot of hyperbole out there, and some of it's justified. I would argue some of it's unjustified. But that, that doesn't mean it's all unjustified. keep the data center part separate from the industrial development process. It's very normal to not share a lot of this information, because when you do, it kills deals. I don't know, Mr. Mayor, if we can even share what it was. Before my time, there was a appliance factory that was gonna come out there, and people in this city talked about it too soon, and they did not develop. We lost opportunity for a lot of jobs.
It was an LG appliance, assembly center that located in Tennessee. They had all but signed the papers here. I got a call from Alabama Power. I was not mayor at the time. I was gonna be the mayor. And they told me at that time they would be talking to me going forward, anything to do with it. But they were, not located in Childersburg because we obviously didn't know the meaning of the word confidentiality.
So please just trust that, and you have, at some point, you know that I've talked about this, we got together and talked, and at some point, there has to be a level of trust with your elected leaders, and I hate that, but you gotta trust that if we say we're gonna bring the information, we're gonna bring the information, and you gotta trust that when we say we're gonna listen, we're gonna listen.
And you gotta trust that we are here right now.
The councilman is right. The way we find out about these projects, I get a call from Calvin Miller with Talladega County Economic Development. He said we have a project, code name Cherokee or code name whatever you can come up with, all these multiple names, but they will not tell us who the company is. You know, so that's how this happens. And so we're approached, project Geronimo wants 800 acres, potential 600 jobs, you know, that kind of thing. That's how it works.
Anyone came up just recently, we were known that there would be an industry that could possibly locate here 95% positive that would work on government vehicles and remanufacture government vehicles. 95% positive, went away overnight.
I'm Jennifer Scott, I'm from Alpine, Alabama, but I live in Talladega County, and things that happen here affect us too.
Right.
And, have you heard of a company called Western Hospitality?
Yes.
Okay, are they the company that no longer is interested in the 486 acres at Industrial Park?
They never really gave us a name, that group you're talking about, that.
It says.
We're dealing with an LLC.
Okay, well, they say that they're building a planned data center for a 500 megawatt data center on 486 acres in the industrial park in Talladega County.
Really?
Yes.
We don't know anything about it.
But how come you don't know, but yet they're publishing it to us?
That information has been shared with us.
But who do they share it with if they can say with? It's,
Yeah, who published that?
this is on more than one site about the
So
hospital.
let me tell you what that is. That is an AI-generated website that takes rumor mill information and stuff that's going on around, happens with all this stuff, and they take it and compile it together with best
So
effort
you
information.
guarantee that there's no data center coming to the industrial park?
We don't know.
But would you fight for us and our children and our grandchildren because
If it's hard for them, we will not let it come.
this is a beautiful city. It's the oldest city in the United States of America. It's God-rated. And who do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to be remembered for because we're low socioeconomic, they chose us?
We won't be
Yes.
There are people that are marketing this property nationwide. Like I said, we don't never know who they come to us and say, this many acres, and they give us some code name. We don't know who they are. And that's how this happened too. When they and so I will say this council is gonna make a decision what's best for the city of Childersburg and its people. Yes, ma'am.
Because
I've lived there my whole life.
I haven't. I relocated here with our life savings into our property.
Well, my whole life has
And
been-
we're proud of Talladega. When people complain or criticize, I'm proud of this community.
I'm proud of my
And
city.
I want to say that you have fought for us, that somebody's not going to come down on us because they think we don't have a voice.
But you gotta understand, there is as many or more people that are contacting us that are very much in favor of this.
And I'd like for them to give more than 5 reasons why, because there's only 12 selected jobs after it's built.
No, ma'am, that's not correct from what they're telling us.
Well, who's going to do it? I mean, if you're a high school graduate, are you going to be able to work with
The
this?
rumors we hear are 300 plus jobs are the rumors.
But a lot of these are not rumors for people that live with this. Yes, I'm sorry. Please.
Hey, Rob, listen, we're gonna have to move on,
Well, one last question. Before a data center is put into Talladega, David County, Childersburg, Alabama, will you bring it to the public and let us?
we've already said we're gonna get the information together. But let me just clarify that last statement. I know, that there was some misinterpretation about what I'm saying. They told me about, some of the newer data centers. There's one in Boone County, Indiana. It's a 1 gig facility, something like $12 billion to build the place. It's got 310 full-time jobs operating around the clock. So they said anything that they do potentially bring here would be something similar to that. That's what I made the comment, guys. That's what that means.
Mr. Mayor, let me add one more thing. I'll say this, this is not a demeaning comment. I'm glad to see the crowd, glad people are invested. This is probably the biggest crowd we've ever had at a council meeting, which usually about 5 or 10 people. We encourage everybody to come. Here's my statement to everybody who's against it, is a year ago, when we were trying to market this property, nobody was helping to find somebody except for Talladega County EDA. I would encourage everybody, if you know of a better industry that's going to bring more jobs and do more for this area, then please contact them and have them contact us. We would love to look at any opportunity possible.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, my name is Bill Moody, 170 Childersburg Trail, Childersburg. I just would like to share a little positivity on the matter. In my opinion, we heard tonight about, the 250, Childersburg never offers anything. We operate on the $5 million budget. We never have money to do anything. The paper mill closed. And yet all I'm hearing is y'all don't want to have any kind of future or some sort of industry. We've been trying, wait a minute, y'all had y'all's chance. Y'all had y'all's chance. For 25 years, Childersburg's had this industrial park. And had hundreds of businesses, industries wanting to locate here. Government wouldn't let them. The property was polluted. Heavy water was made on this property for the Manhattan project. Okay? EPA would not let anybody. I mean, we got signs out there. You can't put houses. You can't drink the water. You can't fish. All kind of crazy stuff. I'm not absolutely saying I'm for the data center, but do y'all honestly realize the potential it would give to the city of Childersburg for its future? What are the fears? Why, wait a minute, why are y'all afraid of a data center?
Everyone, body and right today now, but it's a very short-term time frame. The pros are a very short-term time frame. A data center for artificial intelligence is designed to lessen the workforce.
Yes.
That is what it's designed, that's what every big company.
Well, then why is everybody always on their phone, on the computer, wanting all this data? Give me data. And nobody wants to support it.
We're talking about the culture we're in right now. And then we're talking about a problem that's going to push us even further over the brink. And it's going to lessen jobs even more, right? People's intelligence values, they make it smarter, etc. That's the side point. Now, everyone wants to refer to the doing. But it's making people more dumber, and it is causing,
Well, I disagree with it making people dumber. That's not what's making people dumber. When you can't read cursive and you can't write cursive, you're pretty dumb. Anyway, hey, they're not gonna throw name calls. I think that everybody should really consider and rethink. I mean, as the mayor said, they would have to build their infrastructure. It would not be put on the backs of Alabama people. Your power rates would not go up. In fact, there was a commercial over now, if you believe Alabama Power, saw it today, your rates are frozen until after 27. Now, I'm not saying 28, it may go up. But y'all can laugh if you want, and we can sit here and let everything go by and not have any jobs for our citizens. But that's, that's what y'all want, that's what you can have. Everybody, yeah, they have $100,000.
Guys, hold up. We're getting into arguments about what could happen again. We don't know what's going to happen. When they come to us and propose something, we can talk about it. We don't even know.
Look at the lady's sign back there, it says no data center. Right now, there is no data center. I don't know why you're getting all the work about it. There is no data center.
All right,
Okay, I'm
we're gonna have to start limiting, or we can be here all night long.
What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Vanessa Weber, I live in Certified Acres. I just simply wanted to ask a question. You keep saying you don't know anything, and I'm not doubting that at all.
Yes, ma'am.
If y'all don't know anything about who's possibly gonna buy the property,
We do not.
what may come, I don't doubt what you're saying. My question is, when these come across, you keep saying y'all are approached that a company wants to purchase 148 acres or whatever. Do you know when they come to you and say, this company, you know that company by name, do you know what they want to build before you're gonna agree to sell that property? That's what I want to know.
That would be a yes on my part.
That's my concern, because are you blindly gonna say, okay, this company wants to come in and buy 400 acres? Are you gonna sell that property to a company not knowing what they're gonna build on that property?
No.
That's my question.
Just like I said earlier, I wouldn't want a slaughterhouse on it. Tell somebody land, no, they put a slaughterhouse.
Absolutely, and I understand everybody's concerned, because I too have had the same concerns, because it is all over social media, and everybody is talking about
And
it.
it is a concern that everybody even knows.
Of course, the water, the power, that's what everybody's talking about. I want to see industrial companies come here and grow in Childersburg and provide job opportunities for our community. That would be amazing.
If we get an end user that comes forward and says, we want to buy X number of acres, we're going to put it in a data center, here is the information about what our data center will be. Will it be, there are like 5 different kinds of coolants. I've learned more about this stuff than I've read government report after government report from Washington about how the data centers have evolved, doing the non-contact plate cooling, transfer for heat, closed loop systems, all of this. So, but I can read all of that, but I still don't know what any of that means, because I don't know what's going to be proposed to us.
That's right.
And when we do, then we'll know what we're talking about.
But that was my question.
And we'll share that day when that comes back.
That's what I wanted to know, because everybody is just going.
We're in the dark just like everybody else. We just got people looking at land, all we got.
Okay.
You got it, like I said, I can't speak for everybody up here, but I've been contacted by a lot of people that have been and children.
And I understand being in favor of some being in favor and some being opposed. I totally understand that. My concern is the community and our water sources and our power sources and how it may affect our community. And I hope and pray that you guys will take that into consideration.
Yeah.
I really do. But that's all we did. With the property sold blindly to make nothing without knowing what was coming.
People do the research, whether it's pro or con, whichever way you are, do the research.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, my name is Shania Sample, and I live off of Pond Road, I own 50 acres, I have a few clarifying questions for all of you. So, first, can you clarify for all the public that has the city entered any agreement or letter of intent with WHP Development exactly? Regarding industrial park, you want to bring up code names, so let me bring up your direct name. Have you entered into any sense of agreement with that WHP Development? I see you guys argue the data center part, but this is a development that is solely has purpose on data centers. So have you, yes or no, clarify for the public?
The only agreement we have is the opportunity for them to do the research on the property.
We signed an agreement that you can do your due diligence.
So to be clear, there is no signed document of any kind, including preliminary agreements, confidentiality agreements related to this project specifically, dealings with WHP Development. It should be a simple yes or no. You told her that you did know the name of them, so I want to know, answer to my question again. Is there any signed document of any kind, including preliminary agreements or confidentiality agreements related to this project with WHP Development?
Just an agreement for them to study the land. I just said that.
Okay, thank you.